everyone, and welcome to another family art project. I'm Autumn, the education coordinator here at Studio 23. If you were able to catch the previous segment with Tara, you know that we are discussing the art of Robert Rokita. You probably also saw that he is primarily a ceramic artist, and he works a lot with functional pottery. So that is an art piece that can actually be used. So maybe it's a cup or some kind of vase or bowls or something like that. So in looking at Robert's website, which Tara mentioned, I was able to see that Robert is clearly very inspired not only by geometric but also organic forms. That's really what stood out to me when looking at his ceramic pieces. And I think it's really interesting too that he makes these beautiful pieces of artwork, but he makes them functional, and he even makes you pay attention to how they function. A great example would be the piece that Tara just showed you in Vets Park. He purposefully includes these lines that kind of would show the flow of tea pouring out the teapot. So he makes you think about that stuff, and that's the job of an artist, right? To make you think about things. So when we're talking about, he's inspired by geometric and organic form. Well, what is form? Maybe your student doesn't know. So form is really, in my mind, I always say it's 3D. It's 3D and it has volume. That's form. And it can be geometric or organic. So geometric, that's a lot of straight lines. In case your student doesn't know, it's a lot of straight lines and angles. That's a good way to teach them, and nice art terms to teach them. And organic forms or shapes are flowing lines and curves. And that's a little different than shape. So form and shape, a little different. Shape would be more 2D. I always think of it as just like a flat area that's put together by lines or texture or color. So those are some great little art terms to teach your students while you're doing this project. And another thing that I noticed about Robert's work when looking on his website, or his Facebook page, is that he really has an eye for symmetry in his pieces. And remember, we talked about symmetry last week. Symmetry is just creating balance in your piece, right? So I thought I want to create a project inspired by Robert's piece that includes symmetry and balance. And I wanted to make something that resembled functional pottery, so I created a vase. And I thought, well, if it's functional, we have to have something in the vase. So we made these fun watercolor and oil pastel flowers. So this is going to be the project we're going to work on today. And as far as supplies go, you're just going to need some paper. Per the usual, any kind of paper will do. This was my my scrap watercolor paper, so this is what I'm going to use. And then I have a small sheet of paper to cut out the vase, and it can literally be any color you want, doesn't matter. This is also an old scrap paper. And then I have my oil pastels, and I just have a few colors, maybe like five or six colors. And I'm sure you've heard me talk about oil pastels before and how much I love them. They really are great to work with, and you can find them inexpensive. But if you don't have them right now and you really want to work on this project, let your students use crayons. That's just fine. You'll also need scissors, glue stick, and watercolor and brush. Oh yeah, and don't forget your paper towel and your water for your watercolor. I think that's it for supplies, so let's go ahead and get started. All right. Let's see. Move this back just a little bit so you can see what we're working on. There we go, that's better. All right. So like I said, here's what we're working on. And I'll leave this right here. All right, so let's get started. First thing we're gonna do is we're gonna create this vase down here, okay? Now, we want it to be symmetrical. We want it to have balance, right? And the easiest way to do that is to fold our paper in half so it'll be the same on both sides. We're gonna fold it the long way, or some as you might know, hot dog, right? So we're gonna fold it the long way, or hot dog. And we're just gonna cut out any shape. This would be a good time to have some fun with it, try and get creative. I'm sure Robert tries to have fun and get creative with the shapes of his functional pieces as well. So let's see, I think I'll make a different sort of shape. All right, there we go. So see, now that I've done that, it's symmetrical. I've got balance, same on both sides. So before I glue that down, I like to have just some kind of little base color on the bottom, just so it doesn't look like my item is floating in the air, right? Something to ground it. So I'm just gonna take a color, I guess I'll take black actually, and I'm just gonna throw some color down here on the bottom, and I'm gonna rub it in. Now remember, that's the cool thing about oil pastels, is you can kind of blend stuff in. All right. Next, I'm gonna figure out roundabouts where it would sit so I know where to put my flowers. And I'm just gonna take any old color. Let's see, if I sit it here, I'll know that I can't have my flowers start above this line. All right. Now I'm just gonna go in and I'm gonna add my leaves and I'm gonna add my flower stems. And when I do my leaves, I'm just gonna go in and make some lines. I'll do maybe about 5 of them. And you can add to them. You can make them a little wider if you want. I kind of did that here, if you'll notice. It just depends on what you want to do. You could also go in and add a little highlight and shadow. So I have my dark green and I have a light green, but you could also use a little black. So maybe I want to make a little shade. I might do a thin line underneath my green. Do a little bit black here, maybe. Not a lot. We don't really want a lot, but just so we can kind of give an idea of shade, right, in our leaves. And then I'm just going to blend it through. And then I can go in with my light, and I'm going to kind of go in up top here with my light green. And that'll kind of give the idea of highlight. When we add multiple colors, we add some shade and highlight in multiple colors, we can kind of create a depth and makes things look a little more realistic. All right, we're gonna blend that out. I think that's good for right now. All right, so now I'm gonna do my stems, and I'll probably do about 5 stems as well. So let's see. I will do one here, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. That's good. Now I want them to stand out, and I don't want them to look exactly like my leaves, so I'm gonna go in over top of them with a different color. And what I did here to make my stems look a little different is I went over them with red. And I'm sure you're thinking, or your student is thinking, well, that sounds crazy, but remember, red and green are opposites on the color wheel. So when you put them together, they'll make a real neutral color like a brown. And then we can always go in and blend it as we see fit. And I'm just doing this so I can kind of show that my stems are different than my leaves. And you don't have to do this. It really just depends on how much detail you want to do with this. And if you think there's too much red, go over it with some green. until you're happy with it. There we go. All right, I think that's good enough for me. All right, now I'm gonna go in and I'm gonna add my, my flowers. Now all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go into the tops of my stems and I'm gonna kind of scribble in a messy flower shape and then what would be the middle of a flower. And see, I'm doing that because if you look on the original, these flowers are very stylized, right? So we don't need them to be really detailed, you know, we're gonna get the idea of flower. We don't have to be really careful about it. I'm gonna go in with a yellow. There's my messy flower again. Let's see, I'll go in with an orange and I'll do the same thing. Okay, we'll do a purple. And over here we'll do, let's see, I guess we can do another orange, that'll work. And it's gonna just be another messy flower. All right, so I'm good with that, I think. So I'm just gonna go in now with my watercolor. And I just have my regular old Crayola watercolor, nothing fancy. Crayola has great pigment, so go right ahead. Feel free to use the inexpensive stuff. And I'm gonna go in with my brush. If you've ever watched me do watercolors in the past, you know I love to load up my colors. I mean, they're called watercolor for a reason, right? So load it up. Let's see. And I think I'm gonna be using some blue and maybe some purple too. So we'll just add a little water. All right, so I'm just gonna go in. I'm gonna go for it. So get some red on my brush. Make sure I have enough water. I'm just gonna start going for it. And see, I'm being a little messy with it, and I think that's fine. This is a very stylized piece. You know, you're gonna be able to tell that it's flowers. It's gonna give the idea, and that's all we really need. Okay, so there's that flower. Let's see, I think I'll make this one blue. Get some blue loaded up. And that's pretty dark, so I'm gonna go in a little water. But again, being nice and messy with it. We're just given the idea of flowers, right? All right, I'm gonna go in, let's see, with this one, I will do, let's see. I guess I'll do maybe another red flower. And see, some areas I do more pigment than others, and that's just gonna add to the overall idea of the flower when it's all nice and dried. See how it did over here? I don't know if you can see it a little closer, but it just really lends to the overall idea of the flower. All right, let's see, we'll finish this up. We'll do the yellow, and I think we'll make this one orange. You know, and these two might blend. Not a big deal. I think it's probably gonna add to it, so I'm not worried about that a bit. And then I have one more red one over here, but I think I'm gonna try and make this sort of maroon color that I have going. So I'm gonna take a little bit of red on my tray, and I'm gonna mix it with just a small amount of black, just the tiniest amount of black, to make sort of a maroon color. And I'm gonna start scribbling it in. Then add some water so I get that depth. And I think that's good. Now, if you wanted to get crazy with it, see, I have drips and stuff on this one, and I love that. I think it's so fun, so I'm gonna add more. You know, you could easily add more of that. Go in, pick a color. I don't know, let's see. Maybe we'll do a little blue. And I'm just gonna hold it, and I'm gonna get a little further back since I'm wearing white. And let's see. Go for it. Hit it up a little bit, right? Have some fun. This would be a fun time. If your student is dressed for making art, it'd be a fun time for them to just go for it and get creating. Then lastly, all you're gonna wanna do is glue on your vase. Let's see. And I'm just gonna make sure I have it all nice and around the edges because I want it to stick, especially around the edges. And this would be a project you could really easily use recycled materials for, because you're not requiring, you know, really, really clean materials or anything. So it would be a really easy way to include STEAM, you know, recycling, talking about science and art. And this would be a great way to do it. So, all right. Got my vase down, and let's see, I missed a little spot. There we go. Better. Okay. And if you wanted to, you could even take your oil pastels before you applied it to your picture, and you could even do some kind of fun design on your vase itself. You could very easily include another lesson on geometric versus organic if you wanted to. You know, you're just making it that much more of an art lesson for your student if you wanted to. So you could really get as detailed or, you know, as abstract as you want with a project like this. But that is it for me today. This is my Robert Rokita inspired project, and I hope you enjoyed this little demo, and I hope you try this at home. And if you do, of course, we want to see what you're working on. We'd love to see what you guys are working on, so please share it with us. You can share it with us here on Instagram or Facebook, and we would love to see what everyone's working on at home. That's it for me. Val is up next. She's got another great project for you, and we'll see you next week. Bye.